Welcome back to another episode of Valuable Coins, where we dive deep into the world of numismatics, uncovering the most valuable and unique coins in the market today. If you're a coin enthusiast, collector, or simply interested in the incredible value of rare coins, you're in the right place. In today's video, we will explore two of the most fascinating and expensive United States coins currently circulating the auction market. First up, the 1935 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark, but in damaged condition. What makes this coin interesting? What is it worth today, and does it still have any collector value? Stick around to find out. The year was 1935. The United States was still recovering from the Great Depression. Money was scarce, and every penny counted. That year, the Denver Mint produced over 47 million Lincoln wheat pennies. These coins were meant to circulate heavily, and many of them have survived, some in pristine shape. Others heavily worn or damaged from decades of use. The 1935D wheat penny features the classic wheat ears on the reverse, a design used from 1909 to 1958, and Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse. The small D mint mark, located just below the date, tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. But what exactly does damaged condition mean in the world of coin collecting? This refers to a coin that has suffered extensive wear or physical harm, such as being bent, corroded, scratched, pitted, or having lost key design features. These coins are usually considered coal grade, meaning they have little to no numismatic collector value beyond their base materialing. A professional grading system, damaged coins fall at the very bottom of the scale, even below good grade. While a coin like the 1935D can be worth several dollars in fine or better condition, its value significantly drops when it's damaged. So, what is a 1935D wheat penny in damaged condition worth today? These coins typically sell for around $85,000, sometimes just their face value, or slightly more if part of a bulk lot. In rare cases, if there's something unique about the damage, such as an unusual mint error, the value could go up. But that's uncommon. Many collectors use damaged coins like this for educational purposes, to fill a spot in a budget-friendly collection, or for fun projects. If you're new to coin collecting, these can be a great way to learn about mint marks, coin history, and wear patterns. One important tip: never try to clean your coins, especially damaged ones. Cleaning can make things worse, remove the patina, and reduce what little collector value remains if you're just starting out. Even a damaged 1935D penny can still be a stepping stone into the world of numismatics. It's a piece of American history from the heart of the Great Depression that tells a story of resilience, survival, and everyday life in a difficult era. Next up, the 1986 Washington quarter dollar, minted in Philadelphia and graded in very fine condition. We'll explore the coin's origin, design, composition, and its current value in the auction market. Let's get started. 1986 was a time when the Washington quarter was a staple of everyday life in America. You'd find it in vending machines, payphones, arcade games, and parking meters. That year, the U.S. Mint struck millions of these coins. But not all are created equal, especially when it comes to condition, mint, mark, and potential collector interest. This specific coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P mint mark, located just behind Washington's ponytail on the obverse. In 1986, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 551 million of these quarters, making them very common in circulation. The obverse of the coin features the distinguished profile of George Washington, a design first introduced in 1932 by sculptor John Flanagan. You'll notice the inscriptions Liberty at the top, In God We Trust to the left, and the year 1986 at the bottom. The reverse side showcases the iconic bald eagle, the national bird of the United States. With its wings outstretched and perched atop arrows and olive branches, it symbolizes both military strength and peace. This classic design would continue until the introduction of the State Quarters Program in 1999. A common misconception is that all old-looking quarters are silver. But here's the truth. The 1986 Washington quarter is not silver. It's made of copper nickel clad with an inner copper core and outer layers of nickel. If you check the edge, you'll see that telltale brownish copper stripe, a clear giveaway. The coin we're looking at today is in very fine condition, which means it has moderate wear on the high points, but most major design details remain sharp and clear. For example, you'll still see some details in Washington's hair and on the eagle's feathers, even if they're slightly worn now. Let's talk about what this coin is worth. In very fine condition, a 1986p Washington quarter usually sells in today's auction market for around 50 cents to $1.25. These values can vary depending on the buyer and the condition of the coin's surfaces, especially if it's clean, original, and problem-free. While circulated coins like this aren't rare, uncirculated examples, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, can bring in higher prices, often $10 to $30 or more, particularly if certified by professional grading services like NGC or PCGS. Keep an eye out for errors from 1986. Some known errors include off-center strikes, rod strikes, and die clashes. If you find a 1986p quarter with a major minting error, it could fetch $25 to several $100s, depending on rarity and eye appeal. Whether you're keeping it as a piece of history or hoping it gains value over time, store your quarter properly in a non-PVC holder or album and always handle it by the edges. Avoid cleaning the coin at all costs, as this can severely reduce its value. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, preserved in good condition. We'll explore its historical significance, what good condition means for this coin, and its current value in today's market. Let's get started. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, minted from 1909 through 1958, features one of the most iconic figures in American history, Abraham Lincoln, on the obverse, with wheat stalks framing the reverse. The 1937 penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest and largest mint in the United States. 1937. America was slowly recovering from the Great Depression. The Lincoln wheat penny circulated widely and served as a small but essential part of daily life for millions. So, what does good condition mean in coin collecting and the grading scale? Good refers to coins with considerable wear. Wear? Major details are visible but softened. For this 1937 penny, Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks show wear but remain identifiable. The date is clear, which is crucial for collectors. This balance of wear and legibility makes good condition coins affordable and attractive options for collectors, especially those building their Lincoln wheat penny sets. While the 1937 Philadelphia penny is relatively common, coins in good condition still hold collector interest, especially when the date and design remain clear. The absence of a mint mark adds a classic touch, identifying it as a Philadelphia mint coin. So, what's the value of a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in good condition? In today's market, these coins typically sell for around $25,000. Depending on factors like color, eye appeal, and demand, coins retaining original red-brown color and free from damage usually command higher prices. Conversely, any cleaning, corrosion, or heavy damage will decrease value. If you own a 1937 wheat penny, handle it by the edges, avoid cleaning it yourself, and store it in a protective holder in a dry place to maintain its condition. The 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in good condition is a charming and affordable collectible, valued between 50 cents and $2 today. It's a wonderful piece of American history and a great addition to any coin collection. Next up, the 1983 Washington quarter dollar. Minted in Philadelphia, that's the version with the P mint mark, and we'll focus specifically on coins in fine condition. We'll explore its design, history, composition, and how much it's worth. In today's auction market, let's dig in. 1983. The United States Mint was still producing the classic Washington quarter, which had been in circulation since 1932, though often overlooked. Quarters from this year, especially from the Philadelphia Mint, hold a special place in U.S. coinage history. Why? Let's find out first. The P Mint mark on the 1983 quarter stands for the Philadelphia Mint. This mint produced over 673 million quarters that year. But here's where things get interesting. 1983 quarters are considered scarcer in high grades, especially uncirculated ones, due to the absence of official U.S. mint sets for that year. The obverse of the coin features the classic profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. It displays the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," with the date 1983 at the bottom and the P Mint mark to the right of Washington's ponytail. The reverse showcases a proud bald eagle, wings spread, clutching arrows, with olive branches beneath. This design represents America's strength and peace, and was featured on quarters from 1932 until the state quarters began in 1999. Now for the big question. Is the 1983 Washington quarter silver? The answer is no. All quarters minted for circulation after 1964 were made with a copper-nickel-clad composition. That means they have a copper core sandwiched between layers of nickel, and you can even see the copper stripe along the coin's edge. A fine condition 1983 P quarter will show moderate wear. Details like Washington's hair and the eagle's wings may appear worn, but all major elements remain visible. It's a step above good, but far from mint state. Let's talk value. In fine condition, the 1983 Washington quarter with P Mint mark typically sells in the auction market for about 50 cents to $1.25. While that may not sound like much, here's the twist. Finding this coin in uncirculated condition is tough, which can drive prices much higher, in very fine to about uncirculated grades. Values can reach $2 to $5, and in mint state MS63 or higher, certified by grading companies like PCGs or NGC, prices can jump to $20, $50, or even over $100 for pristine examples, especially the rare full strike or high luster varieties. Watch out for errors. Some 1983 P quarters have doubled dies, clipped planchettes, or off-center strikes. These minting mistakes can turn a 25-cent piece into a coin worth $50 to several $100s, depending on the error and condition. Next up, we're focusing on a classic piece of American numismatics, the 1942 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, preserved in very fine condition. We'll explore the coin's history, what the very fine grade means, and its value in today's market. Let's jump right in. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, minted from 1909 through 1958, is beloved by collectors worldwide. The 1942 penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it carries no mint mark on the obverse side. Just below the date, 1942 was a pivotal year during World War II. The United States was deeply involved in the war effort, and pennies like this circulated in everyday transactions, connecting generations to an important period of history. So what does very fine mean in coin grading? Coins in very fine condition show moderate wear, but maintain clear and sharp details on major features. For this 1942 Lincoln penny, Lincoln's facial features, hair strands, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are well defined with some smoothing on the highest points. This grade strikes a nice balance. The coin clearly shows its age, but still preserves most of its original detail, making it highly desirable for collectors, while the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny is not rare. Coins in very fine condition are less common than those heavily worn. Collectors often seek these for their collections due to the attractive detail and historical significance. So, what is the value of a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in very fine condition? In today's market, these coins typically sell between $200 and $500, depending on the coin's color and eye appeal. Coins that retain original red or red-brown color and show no signs of cleaning or damage tend to fetch prices on the higher end. Cleaned or damaged coins usually sell for less. If you have a 1942 wheat penny in very fine condition, handle it carefully by the edges. Avoid cleaning it yourself and store it in a protective holder away from moisture to preserve its beauty and value. The 1942 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in very fine condition is a charming and historically significant coin, typically worth between $250 and $700 today. It's a fantastic piece for any collector interested in wheat, pennies, or American history. Next up, the 1967 Washington quarter dollar, specifically the version without a mint mark and in fine condition. We'll discuss its design, historical background, metal composition, and most importantly, its current value in today's auction market. Let's jump right in. The year 1967 was an interesting time for the United States, marked by cultural change and economic shifts. The Washington quarter was still widely used for everyday transactions, although the composition of the coin had recently changed. The 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not place a mint mark on quarters until 1980. This coin is part of the transitional period when the U.S. Mint shifted away from silver coinage. The obverse side features the iconic profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. Surrounding Washington are the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," with the date 1967 clearly shown at the bottom. The reverse continues the classic design of the bald eagle. Wings spread wide as it clutches arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both peace and readiness. This design remained in use from 1932 all the way through 1998. Now, let's talk composition. A common question is the 1967 Washington quarter silver? The answer is no. In 1965, the U.S. Mint discontinued silver coinage for quarters, dimes, and half dollars to conserve silver due to rising market prices. Since 1965, quarters have been made of copper-nickel clad with a pure copper core and nickel outer layers. You can spot a thin copper stripe around the edge of the coin. The coin we're discussing today is in fine condition, meaning it has moderate wear, but most design details are still visible. In this grade, you'll notice some smoothing on Washington's hair and eagle feathers, but the overall design remains clear and identifiable. So, what's the value of a 1967 Washington quarter without mint mark in fine condition due to the high number of coins minted in the hundreds of millions? These quarters are quite common. Today, a fine condition 1967 quarter typically sells for about 30 to 50 cents. In the auction market, if you have a 1967 quarter in higher grades, like very fine or about uncirculated, values can rise to around $1 to $3 or more. Coins in pristine mint state condition, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch $5 or higher. Keep an eye out for error coins from this year. Some 1967 quarters have known minting errors like double dies or off-center strikes, which can be worth substantially more, sometimes commanding prices well over $50, depending on rarity and condition. Next up today, we're taking an in-depth look at a classic piece from the beloved Lincoln Wheat Penny series, the 1953 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark, preserved in fine condition. We'll explore the coin's history, what fine means in grading terms, and its value in today's market. Let's get started. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series ran from 1909 to 1958, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse. The 1953 penny without a mint mark was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally didn't use a mint mark on pennies until the mid-1970s. In 1953, America was experiencing post-war growth and prosperity, and the Lincoln Wheat Penny was still a mainstay in everyday transactions. These coins are a tangible connection to mid-20th century America. So, what does fine mean when it comes to coin grading? A coin in fine condition shows moderate to considerable wear on the high points, but most major details remain clear. For the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny, you'll notice Lincoln's facial features are worn but still visible, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are distinguishable, though softened. This grade represents a coin that has been well circulated but retains enough detail to be collectible and attractive to many coin enthusiasts. While the 1953 Philadelphia penny is fairly common, coins in good condition, such as fine grade, still attract collectors, especially those completing wheat penny sets or focusing on mid-century issues. So, what is the value of a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark in fine condition today in the current market? These coins typically sell for approximately $15,000. Depending on the coin's overall eye appeal and color, coins with original red-brown coloration and minimal damage are more valuable. However, heavy wear, cleaning, or damage can reduce the price if you own a 1953 wheat penny. Handle it carefully, avoid cleaning it yourself, and store it in a protective holder in a cool, dry place to help maintain its condition. The 1953 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark in fine condition is a nice collectible coin, generally valued between $25,000 in today's market. It's a wonderful piece for those interested in the history of American coinage. The 1965 Washington quarter dollar, specifically the version without a mint mark and in good condition. We'll explore its design, composition, historical context, and most importantly, its current value in the auction market. Let's dive right in. The year 1965 was a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history. The United States had just transitioned away from silver coins to copper-nickel-clad compositions due to rising silver prices. This shift marked the end of an era for silver quarters, including the iconic Washington quarter design. The 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on quarters. Until 1980, this coin was among the first Washington quarters made after the Coinage Act of 1965, which eliminated silver from most circulating coins. The obverse of this quarter features the timeless profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. Surrounding Washington's portrait are the words, "Liberty and in God we trust," with the date 1965 prominently displayed below the reverse side displays the classic bald eagle, a symbol of American strength and freedom, holding arrows and olive branches. This design remained unchanged from 1932 to 1998, before the state quarters program began. Now, here's the important part. Is the 1965 Washington quarter silver? The answer is no. Despite its date, the 1965 quarter was made entirely of copper-nickel clad. This was due to the Coinage Act of 1965, which removed silver from circulating quarters and dimes to conserve the metal during a shortage. Our coin today is in good condition, meaning it shows considerable wear from circulation, but all major design elements, including the date and mottos, remain visible. This grade is common for coins that have seen everyday use over decades. So, what's the value of a 1965 Washington quarter without mint mark in good condition? Because of its huge mintage over 600 million piece size and common availability, these coins typically sell for just above face value. generally between 30 cents and $1 in today's auction market. If you have a 1965 quarter in higher grades like fine or very fine, you might see values ranging from $1 to $3, while coins in about uncirculated O or mint state MS condition could fetch $5 or more, especially if certified by grading companies like PCGs or NGC. Keep an eye out for error coins. Some 1965 quarters with minting mistakes, such as doubled dies or off-center strikes, can be worth significantly more, sometimes fetching $50 or even higher, depending on rarity and condition. Next up, the 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a Denver D-Mint mark, found in dirty condition. We'll dive into its background, what dirty condition means for collectors, and what this coin is worth in today's market. Let's get started. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series ran from 1909 to 1958, featuring one of America's most beloved presidents, Abraham Lincoln, on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse. The 1951 penny with the D-Mint mark was minted at the Denver Mint. Known for producing high-quality coins, 1951 was a time of post-war prosperity and growth in America. Pennies like this circulated heavily, often changing hands many times over the decades, which is why it's common to find coins with dirt, grime, and surface buildup. So, what exactly is dirty condition? It means the coin has accumulated surface dirt, grime, and possibly some discoloration, but no major cleaning or damage. This kind of condition can obscure details, making the coin look less appealing. But it's important to note that dirt can sometimes be cleaned off carefully without harming the coin. In this 1951 D penny, you can see the dirt and grime settled into the details, softening the appearance. Despite this, the date and mint mark are still clearly visible, which is important for identification. Condition plays a crucial role in a coin's value. While a clean, well-preserved 1951D wheat penny may command higher prices, a dirty coin like this typically sells for less. However, dirt doesn't damage the coin's metal itself and can sometimes be gently cleaned by professionals. So, what's the value of a 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D-Mint mark in dirty condition? In today's market, these coins typically range between 20 cents and 75 cents, depending on how much detail is obscured and whether the coin has other imperfections. Coins that retain original color under the dirt and show strong detail when cleaned tend to be more valuable. Conversely, coins with scratches, corrosion, or cleaning damage will see their value drop. If you find a dirty penny like this, don't rush to clean it yourself. Instead, consider professional cleaning or gentle soaking in distilled water. Store your coins properly in holders to prevent further dirt or damage. The 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D-Mint mark in dirty condition is worth about 20 to 75 cents today. Dirt affects visual appeal and value, but the coin still holds historical and collectible importance. Asterisk. Next up, the 1980 Washington quarter dollar with the D-Mint mark, and evaluating its current market value in good condition. Whether you found this coin in your pocket change or inherited it in a collection, stick around to learn everything you need to know. The year was 1980. America was stepping into a new decade. Technology was booming, and coin-operated machines were everywhere. During this time, the Washington quarter remained one of the most widely circulated and used coins across the country. This particular quarter was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D-Mint mark just behind George Washington's ponytail on the obverse. The Denver Mint produced 518 million of these quarters in 1980, making them quite common in circulation. The obverse side, designed by John Flanagan, features a dignified portrait of George Washington, America's first president. Above his head is the word Liberty. To the left is In God We Trust, and at the bottom, the year 1980 is prominently displayed. On the reverse side, we see the proud bald eagle, wings outstretched, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing America's strength and desire for peace. This reverse design was used from 1932 all the way to 1998, making it a classic. Now let's answer a common question. Is the 1980 Washington quarter silver? The answer is no. In fact, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in circulating quarters. After 1964, the 1980 quarter is made of copper-nickel, clad a copper core with outer layers of nickel. If you see a brown stripe along the coin's edge, that's the copper showing through. The coin we're reviewing today is in good condition, which means it has heavy wear from circulation. The design is still visible, but details like Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers will be worn smooth. It's a lower grade, but still collectible. So what's the value of a 1980 Washington quarter in good condition? Because this coin was minted in such high numbers and is still widely available, its value typically ranges between 25 and 50 cents. In most cases, it will trade close to face value unless it has special characteristics. If you have a higher grade 1980 quarter, such as one in about uncirculated or mint state MS-63 or higher values can go up to $2 to $10 or more, especially when graded by services like PCGS or NGC. A flawless MS-65 example can sometimes sell for $20 or higher in auctions. One thing to look out for: error coins. If your 1980 quarter has minting mistakes like a doubled die, clipped planchette, or off-center strike, it could be worth much more. Sometimes even hundreds of dollars, depending on the severity and rarity of the error. To preserve your quarter's value, always store it safely. Use coin flips, protective holders, or albums. And never clean your coins. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its collector value permanently. Next up, we're exploring a classic and highly sought-after coin, the 1928 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, preserved in very fine condition. We'll dive into its historical significance, what very fine means in coin grading, and its current value in today's market. Let's get started. The Lincoln Wheat Penny Series, minted from 1909 to 1958, features one of America's most iconic presidents, Abraham Lincoln, on the front and two stalks of wheat on the reverse. Symbolizing prosperity, the 1928 penny was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it lacks a mint mark. This year was part of a dynamic era between the world wars, a time when pennies circulated widely and were part of everyday life. So, what does very fine mean in coin collecting? A coin in very fine condition shows moderate wear on the high points, but retains much of its detail. For the 1928 wheat penny, Lincoln's facial features and hair details remain visible, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are clear, though some smoothing is present. This grade strikes a great balance. The coin clearly reflects its age, but it still preserves enough detail to be very attractive to collectors. The 1928 Lincoln wheat penny is considered relatively scarce compared to other years, especially in higher grades like very fine. This makes it a prized piece for wheat penny collectors and American coin enthusiasts. So, what is the value of a 1928 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in very fine condition? Today, these coins typically sell for around $15 to $30, depending on the coin's color, eye appeal, and market demand. Coins retaining their original red or red-brown color and free from cleaning or damage are more valuable. Conversely, coins with corrosion, heavy wear, or cleaning marks will fetch lower prices. If you own a 1928 wheat penny, handle it by the edges. Avoid cleaning it yourself and store it safely in a dry, protective holder to preserve its condition. 2. Sum up the 1928 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in very fine condition is a valuable and historic coin, generally worth between $15 and $30 today. It's a fantastic addition to any coin collection. Do you have a 1928 wheat penny? Now you know why it's special and what it might be worth? If you enjoyed this video, next up, the 1974 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark, specifically one in extra fine condition. We'll explore its history, design details, composition, and most importantly, what it's worth in today's auction market. Let's dive right in. The year 1974 was a time of change and growth in the United States. The Washington quarter was still a key part of daily transactions, from buying a soda to using payphones. Coins like the 1974 quarter were minted in large quantities, but condition and mint origin still play a big role in their value today. This particular quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the absence of a mint mark on the coin, a standard practice for Philadelphia quarters until 1980. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 298 million quarters in 1974 alone. The obverse of the 1974 owned quarter features the classic profile of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan in 1932. The inscriptions around Washington's head read "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," with the date 1974 prominently at the bottom. The reverse side displays the traditional bald eagle, clutching arrows and olive branches, a symbol of America's strength and desire for peace. This design remained the hallmark of the Washington quarter for decades. From 1932 to 1998. Now, here's an important fact for collectors. The 1974 Washington quarter is not silver. Since 1965, quarters were made with a copper-nickel-clad composition, a copper core sandwiched between nickel layers to replace the silver due to rising metal costs. You can spot the copper layer by examining the coin's edge closely. The coin we're focusing on today is in extra fine condition, meaning it shows light wear on the highest points but retains sharp details in most areas. The hair strands on Washington and the eagle's feathers are still well defined, making it more desirable to collectors than lower-grade coins. So, what is the value of a 1974 Washington quarter without mint mark in extra fine condition? Given its relatively common availability, this coin typically fetches between $1 to $3 at auctions today. Factors like eye appeal, toning, and surface preservation can influence the price. Coins in about uncirculated O condition can bring prices around $3 to $7 while fully uncirculated. Certified examples graded MS-63 or higher can sell for $10 to $25 or more depending on quality and grading service. Keep an eye out for rare error coins or varieties from 1974, such as doubled dies or off-center strikes. These error coins can command much higher prices, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars, depending on rarity and condition. In summary, the 1974 Washington quarter without a mint mark in extra fine condition is a copper-nickel-clad coin that generally holds a modest value of about $1 to $3 in today's market. While not rare, it's a neat collectible representing an important era in U.S. coinage. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin collecting insights and market updates. Do you have a 1974 quarter in your collection? Share your thoughts or questions in the comments below.